On Answers for Living Today, we continue to explore the Apostles' Creed, which says that Jesus suffered under Pontious Pilate. Why did Pilate have Jesus scourged? He wanted to set Jesus free, but he wanted the crowd to release him. He must have thought that when the crowd saw Jesus after the scourging, they'd have pity on him. Now, Pilate hated the Jews, and he didn't want to do what they wanted him to do, so perhaps the torture of Jesus would satisfy them. So he ordered the scourging. The suffering went further than just a scourging. The soldiers twisted together a crown of thorns. They put it on his head. They crushed it into his skull. They put a purple robe on him. They mocked him as the King of the Jews. They slapped and punched him in the face. They beat him on the head with a reed. They spit on him. And according to Philo, the soldiers did this type of physical and mental torment just for fun. They mocked him as the King of the Jews. They had no idea that he was the King of Kings. The scourging was finished. Pilate is ready to show the crowd the results of the punishment, hoping the crowd will take pity. And he brings Jesus out and says, "Look, I'm bringing him out to you to let you know that I find no basis for a charge against him." When Jesus came out wearing a crown of thorns and a purple robe, Pilate said to them, "Here is the man." And again he says, "I find no fault in him." You just beat a man within the inch of his life and you find no basis for a charge against him? Really? Behold the man. He's saying, here's your threat. He's pitiful. He's powerless. He's beaten. He's pathetic. No one came to his aid. Isn't that enough? Hoping that they would see the horrible condition that Jesus was in, they'd be satisfied. But no. The religious leaders cried, "Crucify, crucify." The crowd gets into it, "Crucify, crucify." But Pilate answers them, "You take him and crucify him yourself. As for me, I find no basis for the charge against him. He's innocent. You take him and crucify him." But the Jewish leaders insisted, "We have a law, and according to that law, he must die because he claimed to be the Son of God." Well, when Pilate heard this, he was even more afraid, and he went back inside the palace. He said to Jesus, "Where do you come from?" he asked Jesus. But Jesus gave him no answer. "Do you refuse to speak to me?" Pilate said. "Don't you realize I have power to free you or crucify you?" Then Jesus answered, "You have no power over me if it were not given to you from above. Therefore, the one who handed me over to you is guilty of a greater sin." Jesus is still mentally strong enough to let Pilate know God, his Father, is in charge. And from that moment on, Pilate really wanted to free him. He was afraid that he was going to crucify a son of a god. Plus, his wife had warned him, "Do not have anything to do with this righteous man." But the Jewish leaders played a trump card, and we're going to look at that trump card tomorrow.